Hello everybody out there. Welcome to Sun Dragon Arts and Fiber, Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina. Trying this on a Sunday since I'm home. So I'm a little off my game, but we'll do what we can. We've got a lot of people in the house now for us. We have my husband-like person, Brian, and my stepson, and Alexander, and of course the cat who's under me. And they are outside getting some work done, so I'm going to try to do a couple videos. We'll see where we get. I thought I'd get back to some of the basics of crochet. So we did a chain last time, and I'm going to see if we can do a little bit of leading you through a single crochet, which has more steps than you think. The chain had like one step. Single crochet has like 2 different steps going on in it, and I should make note that this is single crochet into the first chain. That's different than single crochet after that, so, or any stitch after that. So we'll go into the basics, the mechanics, and I might throw a little geometry at you. So, all right, I'm gonna go get my cat who's trying to get into the cabinets below me, and we'll start the video. So, in our Crochet 101 video, that was talking about chaining. What we ended up with on the hook were these V's. That are going to be, let's see if I can get this. Here's our hook. Here's the thumb divot. Here are our chains. Oh. Had my hook a little out of the video there. So, and remember I said they're kind of hard to count because they overlap in a funny way. Now, what we're going to do to go along our chain, it'll be hanging under your hook, but then when you're going to turn, so you're working along it parallel to the floor to work into these chains. And what I like to describe to people, I often have people maybe start by chaining 20. And then I'll say, you need to chain one more if you want to have 20 single crochets on the way back. So you need to chain, ignore my cat while he investigates below us, 21. And the reason we're doing that, I'll show you up here, is we have just made a line. This is crochet geometry. We've just made a line with our chain. Now we need to go back along that line and a single crochet. So a chain is like a line. Single crochet, and I am using US terminology here. In the UK they might call it a double. Single crochet is more like a box, a rectangle. Because it has more thickness than a chain. A chain is very flat. Single crochet has a little bit of height to it. And so I'm always telling people, my mantra is you need to go up to go over. You need to go up. Let me make that a little clearer. You need to go up to go over. So to work back along this chain line, we need a little bit of space. We need to go up before we go over. So we need to take a little bit of space. So if we move back down here, this chain, let me put it in a different color. We're going to skip this one, because that will be like turning the corner. So what I'm going to do to try to show this. If we take this stuff out of the way, and the one that we're skipping, I'm now going to show on its side, kind of like this. That's not very good, is it? You guys are my experimenters here. So, the one that we're skipping is going to become our edge. And then up here is the loop that's on the hook. Let me draw the back end of my hook again. Now for the most part, I'm going to have the hook facing me until it's pulling through things. I went through this in my other video. When I'm wrapping around to catch the yarn overs in it, it might be facing me, and then I might turn it down to go through that loop that's on my hook. So we're skipping the first one. Skip one chain. And I'm going to push the hook straight into, step one is to go into a chain. Push the top of the hook into the chain. If I go too fast for my brain, I can't spell right. And the biggest thing about this, I'm pushing straight through from front to back. And I'm trying not to let anything wiggle. What I would actually do is I would hold it with my thumb just to the left of the chain I'm going into. And I try as much as possible to have the bottom part of that chain go under my hook, and everything else, believe it or not, it'll be a couple of different strands, go on top of my hook. Now when I push through, my hook will be in just the right place to do a yarn over. Back here. And then I'm going to, I'll put 3 next to it, I'm going to pull that back through just what I pushed through. At that point, what it will look like is, I'm going to take this out so I can show you. You will have your yarn over will be coming back up through here. So you'll have 2 loops on your hook. And I'm going to give my hook a little more space here. You'll have 2 loops that I say put it on the workspace. Remember, I talk about, if you go back and watch my intro video for chaining, see if I get anything small enough. There, yeah, my intro one for chaining, we've got the hook, we've got the thumb divot, we have the workspace. When in doubt, put things on the workspace so they're not getting stuck in the hook. Because what we want to do is for step 4, we want to yarn over again. Remember, yarning over always comes over the top and into the hook. So we want to yarn over again. We'll end up with a yarn over right here that is going to get pulled through the 2 loops that are on the hook. And that is what we'll finally finish. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Now usually I draw a lot of this ahead of time, and I was trying today to try to draw some stuff as I went. So again, we had the original loop, We pushed into the chain with just the lower chain below and everything else above, yarned over and pulled up a loop. We can make that our orange one right here. Steps 2 and 3 are orange. Step 4 is green. The yarn over that is going to get pulled through those two. And my other rule of thumb, so I've got the go up to go over, is something I repeat in my intro classes all the time. Another one I repeat all the time is you're done with a stitch when there's one loop. On the hook. So in the middle of all of this, there's multiple loops. By the time you pull that green one through everything, there will only be one loop on the hook. And you know you're done and you're ready to go into your second. This is the first one, A, here's B, and here's C. It's getting all a little confusing. When you're done with a single crochet, I'm going to come down here and put all that out of the way since we're getting a little full of detail here. When you're done with a single crochet, what you will see under the hook, and you'll have the one loop coming out, is it'll look like it's got a little V shape running along the top and also a couple of stitches underneath that go into the bottom chain. There we go. Bottom chain, first bottom. So A, B, C. It'll look weird. I have so many people when I'm first starting to teach them to crochet and they say, but it looks weird. It will look weird. That top V will be instrumental on our next row, but don't worry if it looks like a little blob. It will. It absolutely will. So, if I had to break it down for you a little bit, it's kind of hard to piece out. The top piece here was our original loop. Some of what's going under here is the orange part, and then what is coming through the top. So this, what almost looks like a V facing you, was that orange loop from before. And what's coming up through here is that green part, that last part of the step. So if breaking down the logic of this helps, that's what the drawing is for. If this is getting confusing, because I'm kind of wonking through it pretty quickly, take a look at what we do next when we do the actual stitch. But here, what I would do next, I would do step 1, I would push in to the chain, yarn over and pull a loop back up. I go in and then I come back up, and then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull the yarn over that is up here through both of the loops on the hook. Let's see what this looks like in real life instead of drawings. All right. So here we're going in real life. We've got a whole bunch of chains on here. And remember, get your tension set up the way I do it. Palm up. The yarn goes between my pinky and my ring finger. There's a lot more practice of this in my chaining video. Wrap around the pinky and back to position A, over my ring finger and down, and behind further to the left on my first 2 fingers, and flip up. So here's my first chain that I'm skipping, but remember, I like to turn it so we're looking at it sideways, and hopefully my back strand won't get too confusing with this. I eyeball by the lower loops here. So that's my first lower loop. I'm not counting what's on the hook. Lower loop, skip this one. Only the first time because that is my corner. See, that is the corner for my rectangle. So I skip this one. I want to go into this one, so I'm going to put my thumb just to the left here. And then I'm holding this out of the way if it's going to get wonky, but I can still move it. I'm going to push bottom loop under, everything else on top, and I'm just going to try to push straight in. I'll move it so you can see it, but try not to wiggle around. Just push straight in. Yarn comes over your hook. Pull it back only through what you punch through. I recommend settling it back, pushing your work underneath you with your fingers if you have to. I have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over, grab those 2 loops right underneath if I need to so I have control, and I'm going to pull my hook through those 2 loops and settle back on the workspace. There's my weird couple of strands down here and my weird couple of my little V on top. So this lump goes into this strand, so I'm going to find the next bottom strand, put my thumb just to the left of it, push straight into it, yarn over, pull a loop back up and through and settle so it's not tight, yarn over, pull through both, settle back. I have 2 single crochets down here. Hope you can see that. Big hole right there. So let me find the next one. It's right here. Everything crisscrosses. I'm just going to watch these bottom loops. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. I'm going to push into my next one, front to back, yarn over and pull back through and settle, yarn over, grab them if I need to, pull through both, settle back. There's the hole that all this gobbledygook came out of. Next hole. Lower strand below, everything else above. Yarn over. It's almost already in the right spot to just yank it and pull it back through. Yarn over and go through both. If your stitches come out super flat and you're not sure what's going on, you may have yarned over, you may have gone in, yarned over and just pulled through everything. You don't want to do that. You want to find your spot, push in, yarn over, and pull a loop back up, and stop. And I'm not done because I have 2 loops, so I need to yarn over and pull through 2 loops and be done. There are 2 yarn overs involved in making a single crochet. Let's find my spot. I push in, I yarn over, I pull back through, and then yarn over and go through 2 loops. I only have 1 loop left, so I'm done. I'm almost done with all the ones I made. So let me finish. Push in, yarn over, pull back through, settle, yarn over, pull through 2, and stop. I have 1 more. Sometimes people get this close and they're like, uh-oh, am I done? I don't go into the knot, but I have 1 more lower loop here. I can go in, yarn over, pull back through, settle, yarn over, and go through 2. Don't worry if it turns, but be careful of if it's turned. On your next row, you're going to need to keep this straight and keep it from turning around. But it's not that you did anything wrong. Even mine is turning if I let it go. But if I hold it flat, you can see it kind of looks like I've got little V's. I can go like this, little V's on the front facing me, and also a clear set of V's running across the top. Those are important for the next row, but that's going to have to wait for the next video. Hey everybody, I hope that gave you just a taste of the single crochet going into the back. By the way, looks a little different than the front. Going into just the beginning chain. You're probably anxious to try the next row. I recommend giving yourself at least 20 chains. Go back to my chain video to do that. And then come here, chain 1 more so you have 21. Skip that first chain and try going back along them to give yourself some practice. Because I said this row, the beginning row, is different than all the other rows. So I'm trying to make these more bite-sized, both so I can get them up for you And so they're not super, super, super long. So thank you for joining me today. Practice, practice, practice with that, but hopefully in a fun way. You know, you don't want to get, there's always a bit of a learning curve with crochet and knitting. My learning curve with crochet was a little bit longer because I thought it would be easy. And it is once you get used to it. There's a little bit of a hump you get over, and then you can start sailing with this. So practice that beginning chain and beginning row. And I'll do my best to circle back to the next row of single and then double. Oh, I love double. Double, I find, I jokingly say that single is the necessary evil to get you to double, because double's really pretty. But single you use for so many things, not just to get you to double. So practice your skills, because once you know single, you have 90% of what you need to do a double. And yeah. I'm losing my train of thought, but that's okay. So please subscribe. Please tell me what you want to see. Like I said, I'm trying to do some knitting videos as well. So I'll try to circle back to this as soon as I can. If you want to see more advanced crochet techniques, let me know. Share this with friends. Subscribe. Pretty soon we hope to have online sales running for my shop. So wherever you are around the continental United States, we'll have free shipping. Somewhere else in the world, we'll see what we can do. We really want to reach out to everybody, since this is one of the better ways to do that right now. So let me know what you think. I love the community we're building. We just passed 100 subscribers to this channel, which is really awesome. Stick with me on this. May your crafting be full of confidence and joy. Hi, baby. Were you trying to get in the cabinets under me today? Yeah. Oh, no.